Hi, I'm John McWilliams with Paws-itive Pet Services in Rockaway, New Jersey. Another helpful hint for us dog owners. One of the more common things that happen when we're walking our dogs out in Publix is that they slip the collar. They actually get to run away free on us. It's the worst time in the world to have a dog run free in a public space. One of the reasons is because out of love and generosity, we tend to put their collars on way too loose. I'm going to show you a nice way to see if your dog's collar is on tight enough and loose enough at the same time. You want to go over, if the dog's wearing a buckle collar, you want to go over and use the 4-finger moment. 4 fingers. You take 4 fingers on a large-sized dog and you put it between their collar and their skin. If your 4 fingers can go through fairly snugly, it is loose enough. It might be tighter than we would care for sometimes, but out in public, you don't want your dog escaping you. If you can put your whole hand through it or your whole arm through the collar, it's on way too loose. That means that there's a good chance it could come right off his ear. So if you do see your collar, the dog's collar is being too loose, you do want to tighten it up pretty immediately. Ideally, you're doing that before you even leave the home or before you leave your car. But if you notice it out in public, you do want to go over and tighten it up. Many times, if you're trying to wiggle and waggle with the dog, he's going to be all excited. You're not going to be able to really adjust that collar properly. So you're going to have to take it off. Of course, you would never ever let a dog off his collar out in public. But sometimes you're going to have to take that collar off to adjust it. I recommend that you do what I call make a safety collar or an emergency collar. You're going to take the leash, you're going to feed it into itself, making somewhat of a slip knot type collar. Then you're going to put it on the dog's neck. You're going to make it secure enough so he can't get out of it. So now it allows you in public to take off his collar safely. He still has a collar on him. He can't run away from you. And that's when you're going to go over and you're going to adjust it a couple of times. It is trial and error. You're going to have to play with it, tighten it, loosen it, tighten it, loosen it, until it's finally about 4 fingers tight. Now, put your 4 fingers through it, it's fairly snug. You can't put your whole hand through it. So it's loose enough, he can breathe, and he can't get it off his head. Now you just go over and remove the leash, and you're back to work. It's a nice way to go over and adjust a buckle collar out in public without losing your dog. If you do have to use a choke chain, many of us do, regular standard training collar, metal collar, or nylon collar, you also want to do a 4-finger routine on it, but it's a different type of 4 fingers. You're going to put it on the dog, and to size it properly, you want to go and take the slack up. Don't make it tight, make it kind of taut, but not tight. Take the slack up, and you want about 4 fingers between the O-rings. That's a good size. It still has enough jingle jangle, still loose enough, and it can't come off his head if he looks down. You don't want a choke chain that's way too big on a dog. If he looks down, it's going to come right off his head, and then he's going to run free. You don't want that. So once again, it is the 4-finger routine. It's 4 fingers on a buckle collar going through it, and it's 4 fingers from O-ring to O-ring. This is just another helpful hint from Paws-itive Pet Services, trainerdog.com.